I would like to welcome everyone to the Thursday, June 15th, 2023 Public Work and Regular Business Meeting of the Plainedge Board of Education. So a motion to reconvene the meeting of the Public Work session. Dr. Netto, second. Mr. Paris, all in favor? Thank you very much. Would everyone please rise for the pledge?
The Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for being here this evening, and thank you to those at home who are watching us on our live stream. At this time, I'm going to move over to Dr. Selena for the superintendent's remarks.
Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday, June 15, 2023 Plainedge Board of Education meeting. This evening is a celebration of our board president, Catherine Flanagan, and her commitment to the children and families of the Plainedge schools for over 2 decades. I'd like to thank the faculty and staff, as well as the community, for being here this evening. We offer our thanks and appreciation for a person who's been a champion for children since the day we met. About 12 and a half years ago, I received a call from a recruitment firm, headhunters who were performing the search for the Plainedge next superintendent. I was asked to apply for the opening of superintendent. At this time, I was in an assistant superintendent's position and wasn't really looking for a job. I took the interview, met the board, and knew that this was where I wanted to be for the rest of my career. And they say the rest is history. It was the best decision in my life. The part people may not be aware is when I first started working with Ms. Flanagan, she was injured and not able to walk from an accident. She'd been hit by a car. Regardless, she insisted on meeting with me and then Vice President Mary Ann Capone to begin planning for the opening of schools that year. She did not want her injury to stand in the way. That's who Kathy was and is. Under your leadership, you've helped create a collaborative culture that makes employees feel welcome, valued, and all members of our community as well. Mrs. Flanagan is so passionate about making a difference in the lives of everyone in the Plainedge community, including the children, the families, and all residents. She told me, we, the board and I, were going to make a team that would be an incredible team and would make Plainedge the #1 school district in Nassau County. Look how far we've come, Kathy. Home values are through the roof, with both selling 10 to 20% over the asking price. I just had a resident tell me the other day, house was on sale for 2 days. And that's pretty amazing. And there's a small list of homes that are available. We strategically have set annual goals to improve all aspects of our schools. And today we offer an award-winning curriculum that makes people want to live here and have their children attend our schools. In my over 30 years in the field of education, I've never met a more committed person, Board of Education member, one who's attended almost every event possible, enjoyed observing the performances of our students, our teachers, in the classrooms, on the stages, and on the fields. The STEAM program we designed and implemented with the support of the Board of Education under your leadership in our pre-K through 12 is an exemplary program that offers school-wide enrichment to children of all abilities. The new components of our curriculum and programs we implemented over the years, with our administrators and teachers leading the way, allowed us to increase the engaging educational opportunities in every grade. Our high school graduates leave us with 1 or 2 years of college under their belt, saving families thousands of dollars of school tuition as a result. We continually push the envelope as a team under your leadership, and the capital improvements made over the years will benefit the future generations who attend our schools, as well as their families. We built state-of-the-art athletic facilities here at the high school, and your dream of offering community access to our soon-to-be-completed Plainedge Fitness Center to promote the well-being and physical fitness for everyone in the community will be a reality over the next year. We do what other districts can only dream in relatively small periods of time, and as you would often say to me, what's next, and how are we going to improve our schools and the community and take it to the next level for our children. Your commitment to participating in professional development as a board member fueled the many ideas and suggestions you put on the table over the years, just like your colleagues. Your legacy as a leader in our schools will be evident for many years to come as you walk through our facilities, visit our STEAM rooms, play on our fields, and visit our fitness center. On behalf of the Board of Education, Central Administration, teachers, all staff members, as well as the Plainedge community and me, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you for your over 2 decades of service to the Plainedge community. We know you will still be an active member of the Plainedge community for years to come. Thank you for your service. Please join me in offering an enormous round of applause for Mrs. Catherine Flanagan, Board of Education. this time, I would like to invite Ms. Kathy Flanagan to the podium. She'd like to say a few words.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. It has been my honor to serve the Plainedge Public Schools over the past 18 years in different capacities as a board trustee and currently as the president of the Board of Education. Prior to volunteering as an elected official on the Board of Education, I enjoyed a number of years in a variety of PTA leadership roles. As you may be aware, my husband Dan and I chose to raise our family here in Plainedge over 31 years ago. My oldest daughter, Morgan, is a superstar kindergarten teacher in our schools today. My son, Daniel, is attending the Court Officers Academy as we speak and will join the ranks of law enforcement as a New York State Court Officer in the Nassau County Courts. And my youngest daughter, Siobhan, recently graduated from SUNY Plattsburgh University and is considering pursuing a career in the schools. We chose to live here in Plainedge for the incredible schools and people in this community. Dan and I are so proud of our children. Our children are a testament to the amazing programs, teachers, and administrators we have here in Plainedge. They have been provided with an outstanding education. Look where they are today in life. I want to share a heartfelt thanks to my Public Board of Education colleagues, central administrators, and our entire staff for all they do for the children of Plainedge. I have enjoyed advocating for the children and families in the Plainedge School District for nearly 2 decades now, as well as bringing tax stability to the district while delivering an outstanding education for all students. For those who know me, I am a lover of the arts and music programs you offer here in Plainedge, and I can proudly share that I have attended almost every concert and art show our teachers have hosted over the years. The award-winning programs are second to none. We've developed and implemented numerous educational program enhancements and curriculum improvements over the years, including over 40 new courses at our high school, a pre-K to 12 STEAM program, which is a model for schools all over the United States of America that educators strive to replicate, an award-winning middle school with a curriculum that addresses the needs of all students and sets the stage for entry into our amazing high school that enables children to graduate and enter the world of higher education with as many as 25 to 40 credits, college credits. And let's not forget the amazing mental health program we implemented by forming a partnership with Northwell. In addition, we've completed nearly $55 million of capital work over the last 12 years, using a long-range financial plan designed to utilize existing capital reserve funds, all while keeping tax increases very low for homeowners. All projects in the use of capital reserve funds were voter approved and typically receive nearly 80% voter approval every year. I am so proud to share that this board has saved the Plainedge community over $16 million over the last 15 years. We accomplished this by paying for all projects using existing capital reserves and not floating bonds and paying interest. And let's not forget, we will collect over $35 million in state aid for these projects over the next 15 years. This board chose to invest in our homes, our schools, our children, our instructional programs, our interscholastic sports, and our community. And of course, our amazing administrative and instructional team. As a member of such an outstanding Board of Education team, I can assure you we operate using the mantra of what is best for all children in every decision, every day. I want to thank the entire Board of Education for their friendship, support, and tireless hours of work to better our schools throughout the years. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity being on this board, as well as representing Plainedge, the member of the Executive Committee and the Legislative and Finance Committee for the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association. Also, I was extremely honored to be appointed by the New York State School Board Association to the National School Board's Federal National Advocacy Institute, where I represented Plainedge Plainedge on the federal level and had access to members of Congress throughout the years to discuss national school boards and New York State school board positions on key education issues. I want to thank Dr. Selena, who we proudly hired to lead our amazing schools and staff 12 years ago. He hit the ground running, and kind of still is, and never stops. Under his leadership, we continue to strive for excellence in all we do here in Plainedge. The entire Plainedge leadership team proudly collaborated with the educators to create incredible learning opportunities for all children. Thank you for your service to Plainedge and for your continued service to the community. I truly believe in our motto here that this is a place where everyone keeps. I want to share that I enjoyed every minute of these experiences. I am thankful to my entire family for supporting me during these years. I know that Plainedge will continue to be the best community on the islands. In closing, I want to thank everyone for entrusting me to improve our schools for all these years. You have all been an active part of my life, and I promise I will continue to support the Plainedge schools into the future. As I've shared with my friends and my supporters, one door closes and another opens. And I promise you, the best is yet to come. Thank you again for all your support and holding these years. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to speak. Microphone's not working. At this time, I'd like Dr. DeFayola to step forward. We have something to present to you at this time, and we have some guests that would like to speak as well. So, on behalf of the district, I'd like to present this to you to the Board of Education. Thank you very much. At this time, I ask you to please take a seat. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to invite Vice President Mr. Raymond Parrish to come forward. Please like to say a few words. Thank you, Mr. Parrish.
So Kathy, 10 years ago, Kathy Flanagan called me up. We became friends through our sons who played ball together for many years, Daniel and Colin. And I got to know Kathy and Dan through those games for many nights. And Kathy called me up and said, Ray, we really need someone to run for the Board of Education. It's only twice a month. What more could it be? Well, 10 years later, and hundreds of meetings and hundreds of concerts, we are best friends, colleagues, and I couldn't thank Kathy more for everything she has taught me and she has done for this district and for the state. So Kathy, from my heart, thank you for everything you have taught me, and we will continue our friendship, and you will continue to mentor me in the position that I am in. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. At this time, I'd like to invite up Ms. C.C. Thompson.
Very challenging. I don't have anything prepared, but I want to say some words to my dear friend Kathy. I want you to know that many, many years ago, when my daughter was in elementary school, one of the things that impressed me the most about you was your ability to know her name, know her likes, and no matter what grade she went through, you just knew her, not because of anything except your purity of love for children. It says a lot about you, but besides that, is that it wasn't just one, it was the many, many children of Plainedge. And along with that, I don't know, you're remember names, just, someone says one name to me, goes out, the other year. But I do remember faces, but I was always impressed with what he did there. When you talk, you didn't just talk to children, you got to know their families, got to know their names as well. And then you even knew the grandparents that would show up. You cared about people of all ages. And I think that's one of the things that makes you one of the best public servants I've ever known in my life. If you're not going to run here, you should go run for president, okay? That's how good you are. I know that not just my child, but every child that has been in Plainedge has been touched by you, even if they didn't speak with you directly, was affected by programs after programs that were started by you. And from the time that I joined the board, which of course is a great story, somehow a little bird told me I should run, even though I was resisting it for the longest time. But I want to thank you because through this journey, not only did we all become friends, we listened to each other's ideas, we learned how to respect each other, and we learned how to speak respectfully towards each other. One of the things that I wasn't enamored by, and which you had to convince me to run, was when I sat on the other side in public, and I was a co-president of a PTA, I remembered how the board was not respectful towards each other. And that made me feel, how can we emulate these ideas or be better people or show our children that we want to work together in a collaborative way? And I remember coming up to the podium for the first time, being nervous as heck, even though I've spoken in front of different professional seminars, but somehow when you're in front of people who are your peers, you feel a little nervous because you don't know how they judge you. But I remember coming up and amongst being in front of the board, and remember what we did, because before the old boardroom was like, everybody was like on this side, almighty high up there, but we changed that so that we show mutual respect for everybody and change the configuration of that room so that we can have mutual respectful discussion. So I don't want to drag out the long story. I know everyone has been, I want to celebrate you. But one of the things about celebrating you is about education. I mean, this is why we're here, right? Education. And I remember going up to that podium, telling you my experience as a student in Hong Kong, feeling suppressed because that education system was suppressive, made me feel as a little kindergartner that I couldn't do, if I couldn't do well on these really difficult testing in order to go to XYZ school, and that I was being judged based on those, that evaluation at 5 years old, that you and Ray were the only ones that actually listened to me from the board. And I felt, all right, at least the two of them are listening, and I remembered you truly listened. I mean, look, we don't have to always agree on everything, but I think it's important that if we are here for education and expanding minds, look what we have done since then. We don't need certain, I'm not saying we don't need guidelines, standards, etc. But we don't need the type of Common Core testing that was done back then to really elevate children to have their highest learning. So with that said, I want you to know, someday I want to be you, okay?
PFT President, Mr. Perry Hughes.
Good evening, everyone. Plainedge is an amazing place to live and learn. While I'm here at the microphone tonight to thank Mrs. Flanagan for all of her hard work and dedication, it's impossible to properly thank her right now without discussing how we got to this very moment. For those in the community who are new to Plainedge or have moved here within the last 10 years or so, you may believe that Plainedge has always been this way. But let me tell you a story of a different Plainedge, the one that I came to in the fall of 2000. Prior to finding this small gem of a community, I grew up in Selden. Most of you probably never heard of Selden. It's a small town in the middle of Suffolk, and I never ever heard of Plainedge. When they called me for an interview, I actually had to ask if Plainedge was on Long Island and make sure that it wasn't Plainview. In the latter part of the last century and the early part of this century, jobs and education were plentiful on Long Island, and I actually had the privilege of choosing between 3 school districts for a science teacher position, and I chose Plainedge. Excited for my new position, I was shocked when my next door neighbor in Selden warned me that I didn't want to work in Plainedge because it was a school district that hated its teachers and the teachers hated the community. Undeterred, I started at Plainedge High School in the fall of 2000 and quickly learned the history which led to my neighbor's statements. While it was true that the teachers were without a contract from 1996 through 1998, and things got very, very ugly for a time, the relationship between the community and educators was definitely on the mend, and a new group of leaders for both the community and the PFT were interested in moving the district forward in a positive direction. We now just needed the best possible administration and Board of Ed leadership to complete the transformation. At the same time, our union was working hard to improve relations with the school district, Board of Ed, and community. The district itself was in financial disarray. By 2005, the budget had failed, and having essentially only $300,000 in reserves, there simply was no money for sports teams. That year, we witnessed a Herculean effort from the community, teachers, students, and parents to raise the money necessary to have the sports program continue. The following years, in both 2006 and 2007, those same individuals had to work day and night to pass a 10% or more budget increase, which is totally unheard of and next to impossible living under a 2% tax cap today. But they miraculously made it happen. Ask any parent or teacher who was involved in that lift, and they will tell you what a huge undertaking it was, and at the same time, how they hope to never have to do that again. All throughout the time, Kathy Flanagan was working hard for us, with the Board of Ed, both on the front lines and behind the scenes, to build the relationships necessary to fix the major funding issues our district was facing. In 2011, the Board of Ed, under the leadership of Mrs. Flanagan, hired Dr. Salina to be our superintendent of schools. Although the financial situation was certainly better those years, the district was still essentially in shambles. The facilities were crumbling, the technology was an absolute disaster, and schools were simply getting by without any clear direction on the educational programs we were offering students. Although the challenges were many, together with Dr. Salina and the Board of Ed, under the leadership of Mrs. Flanagan as the president, all that changed. Plainedge is now at the forefront of technology, in not only the state, but even the country. We are regularly invited to present at national conferences on the innovative educational programs we run in Plainedge, including our state-of-the-art TV studio, STEAM rooms, robotics program, digital planetarium, sports facilities, and much more. As far as educational programs are concerned, our district now wins regularly national and international recognition for programs that are best for students, such as the Essential Elements Middle School to Watch, the NAM Foundation for Music Education, and Character.org's Promising Practice Award, and that's just to name a few. With regards to facilities, have you seen our new sports stadium? Student cafe? Yeah, I mean, look at this place. You know how many people come in here and go, wow, this is a high school. Continuing on with the improvements, upcoming improvements to both the high school music rooms and athletic rooms. All the buildings have new doors, windows, and roofs. The high school now has an improved HVAC system with air conditioning. When I started here, September and June were unbearably hot in the classrooms. And whenever it rained outside, there were about a dozen garbage cans collecting rain that was coming inside. Wow, we come a long way. Plainedge is now one of the premier districts on Long Island and in New York State to raise children. Parents are flocking here because we offer the programs and facilities that no other district can compete with. Whether you're in need of special education support services or opportunities for the highest achieving students, Plainedge has what children need. It's not surprising, as Dr. Salinas said before, that the homes in Plainedge are selling incredibly quickly, most above asking price, because citizens want what's best for their children. And Plainedge is what's best when it comes to education, sports, facilities, technology, and of course my personal favorite, all the amazing teachers that we have. While it certainly took a village to create what you see here in Plainedge today, every village needs a leader, an advocate, champion. And for the last 18 years, that person has been our friend, Kathy Flanagan. Kathy, words cannot accurately or sufficiently sum up our appreciation for what you have done and sacrificed for Plainedge, its students, and our teachers. On behalf of the over 300 educators who are represented by the Plainedge Federation of Teachers, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the PFT has some gifts that I'd like to present to Mrs. Flanagan. First and foremost, the officers and I all agree that based on her long history of service to Plainedge, we would like to make Mrs. Flanagan an honorary PFT member. When you become a PFT member, if you didn't know, you get a lot of gifts. So we have an official PFT t-shirt for her. Every teacher loves a good bag. So we have our union bag for Mrs. Flanagan, so she can put all her goodies in for tonight. We also have at the back, I don't know if you saw everyone lining up before, we got a yearbook since Ms. Flanagan, after 18 years, is finally graduating. So there's a yearbook in the back, and I would invite anyone who would like to write a kind message to Mrs. Flanagan, please go in the back and sign her yearbook. And last but not least, we got Mrs. Flanagan a little crystal recognition, and I just want to take the opportunity. Picture first. It says, dedicated service, Catherine Flanagan. In recognition of your tireless service to the children and teachers of Plainedge, your devotion to excellence will always be remembered.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hughes. At this time, we have some other guests that are here with us. Somebody virtually at this point in time, actually. B.A. Schoen is an Area 11 director. We fall under the Area 11 director. So B.A. was not here because he's at another event, but he did want to send his regards. And self-reported, if you're not familiar with B.A., he's pretty handy with the technology, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say tonight.
Kathy, B.A. Schoen here. I hope Ed has projected my head on some huge screen. I look like I'm in outer space or something. Actually, I'm in Minnesota at my grandson's graduation celebration, the first in that generation. You know, that's one of the wonderful things we get to do as school boards. We get to congratulate people on their accomplishments. And it's with great sadness that I'm congratulating you on your 18 years of service to the Plainedge School District as a member of their Board of Education. But I know that it's more than 18 years. It started long before you joined the board, and I'm sure it's going to continue after you leave. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm not going to say that it's been a pleasure to know you, because it still is a pleasure to know you, and I hope to see you around. Thank you for your service, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for being such a great example of what an involved citizen can be. Bye-bye.
At this time, I'd like to invite to the mic Ms. Susan Berger, National Motions, President of the Board of Education. Amongst a number of other positions as well.
So there are few people who have been as devoted and effective as board members as Kathy Flanagan. Kathy and I met many years ago when we were 12. And I was always impressed by her dedication and her love for community. She is the quintessential board trustee, a model to be emulated. And if anybody needs to know how one should behave and dedicate their lives to a community and a board of education, all they have to do is look. So her dedication to this community is apparent, and she's done it within these four walls and further. She and other board members and Ed have presented at both state and local conventions, and they have done your district proud. And I will say that there was probably never a presentation that they did that I didn't make sure I was at. So I'm going to close by saying that Kathy's love of Plainedge oozes out of every pore of her body. I am so glad we were colleagues over the years as we served on our meal boards together. And now I'm going to say I am so glad we're friends. So with that, we'll
Thank you.
Association, deep appreciation for your outstanding service to New York State Public Schools. So I hope in a very simple way
At this time, I'd like to invite President of Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association, President Mr. Michael Keller.
Thank you, Dr. Mayor. So, Captain has served this community for the past 18 years as a member of the Board of Education. In addition to that, for the past few years, she's also represented this community on the Regional Board of Education, the National Suffolk School Board Association. As Captain mentioned, she served on our Legislative Committee, our Executive Committee, and our Finance Committee. And I must say, her wisdom and knowledge was something that helped our organization move forward and helped us give us direction. On a personal note, I also want to thank Catherine because which hold a good cause. I'm also the former president of the Bethpage School Board, and I've been a trustee there for 24 years. But over the past few years, I've gotten to know Catherine, and we used to have many phone calls. And Catherine, especially during the pandemic, it was always nice to hear Catherine's voice to calm me down because things were not, let's say, calm. And we used to exchange ideas and let each other know what was going on in each other's districts. And that knowledge and comfort was astounding. So on behalf of the National Suffolk School Board Association, I'd just like to give you a certificate of appreciation for your service to the National Suffolk School Board Association. Wrap this stuff up. Just a symbol of education, the apple, with the National Suffolk School Board Association. Something new that we're giving out, I don't know if people know what these are. We have a new challenge point, actually happening with our new National Suffolk School Board challenge point. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone that came tonight to offer their words of support and thanks to Ms. Catherine Flanagan. At this time, I'd ask you all to join me for a big round of applause. Thank you for all your support. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Netto, who's been asked to offer some closing comments and some thoughts about Catherine.
I don't know anything to give you, Kathy, but it came empty handed. There's one more item I'd like to discuss and propose to this esteemed Board of Education this evening. The community last year resoundingly approved the creation of a brand new state-of-the-art high school music center that will house our band, choral, and orchestra programs. It's going to provide our musicians and performing artists with an amazing space to hone their craft and develop the skills necessary to perform at the highest level. As a way to honor the decades of service our board president, Catherine Flanagan, has given to the children and families of the Plainedge schools, combined with our absolute love of the arts, I would like to request that a motion be made tonight by the board to name the music wing in honor of Mrs. Flanagan. In working alongside Kathy for the last 7.5 years, her passion for the arts is evident. Mrs. Flanagan is, as she mentioned earlier, has almost attended every single band, choral, and orchestra concert / event from East Plain, Charles E. Schwarting, John H. West, all the way to the middle school and to the high schools. I just want to thank you so much for considering this request, and I just want to congratulate Kathy on a wonderful career. So, like I said, I want to kind of bring that to the board's request for a motion to be made.
Thank you, Dr. Neto. At this time, I turn it to our board vice president who will call for the motion.
At this time, I would like to ask the board, have a motion in place to name the new Music and Arts Wing the Kathy Flanagan Music and Arts Center. I'd like to take the first, second. Everybody in favor? Thank you, everybody. And will be now named the Kathy Flanagan Music and Arts Center.
At this time, it concludes the superintendent's remarks portion of our meeting. At this time, I turn it back to Madam President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stevens. Thank you to everyone who's been here this evening, and all those beautiful comments. I can't thank you all enough for your support for years. We move on to item number 3, which is our reports, discussions, and presentations. Give me 1 second, I need my papers. We have no reports, discussions, or presentations this evening. Do you have any questions on the fiscal reports, item number 4 from the board? Moving on to item number 5, the business agenda. We'll be rolling right into our business meeting at the conclusion of our public work session. Do I have any questions on our business agenda? Any future agenda items? Okay, at this time, we have a motion to adjourn the public work session. Ms. Paris, second, Dr. Nadian, all in favor? Thank you very much. Do you have a motion to convene the regular business meeting? Dr. Neto, second. Dr. Nadian, all in favor? Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 9, the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June 6, 2023 public work and regular business meeting? Mrs. Maggio, second. Mr. Paris, all in favor? Opposed? Abstaining. Moving on to item number 10, the approval of the warrants reports. Do I have a motion to approve warrant reports number 125 to 126 and 128? Dr. Nadian, second. Mr. Paris, all in favor? Thank you very much. I'm going to move on to item number 12, which is opportunity for board members. Does anybody have anything else that they'd like to say? I know it's been busy, we've been running around, and next week is graduation. This is Dr. Nadian.
Yeah, Kathy, I'll never be able to thank you enough for everything that I've learned from you for the past, let's say 6 to 7 years, and you've been a role model and a mentor and an incredible mom, and I see you with your children, and they're all doing exceptionally well, so I just want to tell you that I'll do whatever I can to make sure that we continue all the beauty that is Plainedge, and that all of the community understands that we really and truly want to do that, and it's going to be difficult without your literal presence at the table, but we will make sure that we do the best that we can at all times for students and teachers and parents, and especially for all the young students coming up and all the students at the high school that need our attention so that they can move on to greater things as well. So I just wanted to say that. And also, at the last meeting, we discussed the Character Education Promising Practice Awards. I didn't get a chance to say, but I did want to say, because I've worked with Dr. Phil Fusco for many, many years at character.org. We were involved with mentoring schools in New Jersey and on Long Island, and mentoring in Lawrence, and those Promising Practice Awards are not given away. Those are really earned, and the review of the applications that are sent with the 11 principals, and although you do pay an application fee, they are gone through with a fine-tooth comb to ensure that your acronyms and your programs are specific to children's needs. And so they don't just give that away. So the fact that 5 schools, 3 elementaries, a middle school and a high school were receiving those recognitions, it's huge. And so we really need to say congratulations to the committees that worked and to the central office team, because it really is an amazing honor. And especially coming out of a pandemic, that the schools are able to implement these programs, it's very, very satisfying to know that we are winners in that way. And when you go to Washington, D.C. in, I think, October, late October, November, you will see how excited the foundation at character.org will be to give you the banner, and you'll be able to hang those up at all of the schools. So Kathy, I love you and thank you.
Moving on to item number 12 under new business. Do I have a motion to approve items number 1 through 33 under new business? Ms. Paris, second. Ms. Townsend?
Madam Chairperson, at this time I introduce from the floor item number 34, non-aligned personnel. Resolved that the Plainedge Board of Education approves the non-aligned agreements effective either June 16th or July 1st for the following personnel, and authorizes the board president to execute the same: superintendent, deputy superintendent, assistant superintendent for business, assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, director of facilities, assistant business administrator, transportation supervisor, school lunch manager, supervisor of learning, teaching and assessment, senior typist clerk, human resources, administrative assistant, human resources, district clerk, district coordinator. As amended.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? All in favor as amended? Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to move on to item number 13, which is the opportunity for the public to be heard. If you have any comments that you'd like to make this evening, please step up to the microphone and state your name, and your comment is directed towards me.
Aiden? Is that mic on? There you go, you're on, Joe.
Thank you. Kathy, I speak to the community when I say thank you. Thank you for all you've done. Look around. I've gone around a long time. I remember the fields. We were talking about the fields for 30 years. Town of Oyster Bay, Baba, Badi, we're going to do it. Baba. You guys made it happen. You guys were the backbone that made it happen. Thank you very much. Besides the fields, the Best Buddy program. Let's talk about that. It's an amazing program that's known throughout the island and the state. Unbelievable. Thank you for that. Also, a few years back, some students wanted a Chinese class. They asked me to go to the board. They were applying to Harvard or Cornell. Dr. Selena and the board brought a Chinese class. Thank you for that. Pre-K, 2 years ago at the board meeting, people jumping up and down, but relax, we'll make it better. Pre-K came. Thank you, board. There's a process. We did it as a community. The power of we, the administration and the family. We didn't go crazy. We got the pre-K, and the pre-K helps a ton of people, believe me. Our robotic club, I see there's a young man here. Our robotic club is known throughout the state. No question about it. How about the softball field? They wanted it. No, you can't do it. For years, there's no room. We got the softball field. Thank you very much. And how about the football, the girls' football this year? Think about that. You guys went out and did it. Congratulations. You gave those kids an opportunity and memories that are going to last a lifetime. Thank you, and the community thanks you for that. As I leave, I want to thank you for always being there for Plainedge, always. All the plays and all the events, you were always there. You made Plainedge a better place. Look around you. Look at it. You know, I grew up here in '67.
Harry was saying. There was nothing. I grew up on Orlando Avenue, didn't have a dad, with a mom, rented top, rented bottom. I'm not ashamed to say it. We had welfare come to our house. We needed it. But I stayed in Plainedge. I played sports and turned me around. That's why I'm forever grateful for Plainedge. And thank you for making our children always first. You always looked out for them. And I thank you, and the community loves you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Perry Fuchs, President, Plainedge Federation of Teachers. I'm coming to the mic tonight I want to talk about the fundraiser really quick, but before I do, I want to piggyback a little bit on what Dr. Nady was saying about character.org and the promising practice. And Dr. DiPaola's presentation was phenomenal, but I don't know if it 100% conveyed how hard it was to work on this committee. Hours and hours. I mean, for the last 8 weeks, we have literally met every Wednesday after school. And the other day, we actually spent during the school day 7 hours working on this project. And Dr. DiPaola really went above and beyond in making sure that we all got that promising practice. So I want to thank Dr. DiPaola for all her hard work, and just let the board know, really, the level of effort that went into that was unbelievable. I'm really happy that I could be a part of it, and exhausted at the same time. So, thank you very much. I really came to the mic tonight, though, to thank the Plainedge community for their support in our fundraiser. I can't tell you how disappointed I was that we had to call it due to the forecast. I want to let you know, though, and I want to let the community know, that we actually sold more tickets than almost every other organization that hosts that, and we didn't even have that night. Last year we sold like 400 or 500 tickets at the door. So the fact that we sold over 600 tickets, even the woman from Adventureland was like shocked that we had sold so many. And I said, yeah, you don't understand Plainedge, that's what we do here. So I want to thank the community, because nothing happens without their support. And I want to let the community know that we already booked next year. Save the date, Monday, June 10th.
Call the district clerk, please.
Monday, June 10th. And, don't worry, Dr. Sin, I'll repeat it numerous times. Thank you so much. It was a great year. I know I speak on behalf of all of our educators, both teachers and teaching assistants, when I thank the board, Dr. Selena, his administrative team. It was a fantastic year in Plainedge. The kids learned a lot. I watched them grow. I know we all did. And thank you for your support. We couldn't do what we do in the classroom every day without the support of the Board of Ed, Superintendent, and his administrative team. Thank you so much.
Are there any other comments this evening? Okay. Is there anything else from the board this evening? Of course, Cece.
So, something did come up last month during the election cycle that I just wanted to bring up. I am so proud that when certain things are said that's not transparent, it's so untrue, because I am proud of the fact that we actually hire our own on the teaching staff. It means that we support education and educators, most importantly. So, I may have had to put it in the new business, but I would like us to consider maybe a possible mentoring of our students in the high school to be in the teaching field, and for us to consider them as hired as one of our own. And there you go, for transparency, because I know we've been doing it with due process, accordingly, to go through the application process, but it would be great great if we actually had a program like that, so that the whole community understands that we embrace this school.
I agree, Cece. Thank you.
We
for-
love others.
Thank you, Cece, absolutely. Anything else from the board this evening? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the business meeting? Dr. Neto, second. Mr. Barris? All in favor? Thank you very much, everyone. We will see you in July.